You know when you see somebody as your best friend, but they don't see you as their best friend. I was carrying the friendship on my head. You know how they hug gala in traffic? That was how I carried the friendship on my head. One habit that has the potential of ruining your friendship is dependence. This results in a master-slave relationship in most friendships. And I say this because I've seen it happen. In friendships, you'll agree with me that there is one person who is more privileged than the other. To depend on your friend for everything. Maybe you stay in the same hostel. You depend on your friend for gari. You want to eat breakfast, you depend on your friend. Anytime your friend's mom brings food for her, you're always going there. You always depend on her for money. You depend on her for almost every single thing, or you depend on him for almost every single thing. That kind of results in a master-slave relationship, and you are subservient. And the other person who you are depending on gets tired of your behavior. Actually, it can be very tiring. You know, Nigerians say, lean on me, no be press me die. And also, dependence can result in friction in your relationship, as one person may feel less than the other. An example is Lexi and Paisley in Ant Farm. So remember that Lexi was the high school bad bitch, and she was the queen bee of the school, and Paisley was like her PA. They really didn't have a say. I really didn't have a mind of her own. Anywhere Lexi was, she was there.
Lexi is always in the lead.
Paisley was more like the PA.
And Paisley is a little behind.
So what I'm saying here is check. If you are the one who has to clean up your friend's mess, if you are the one who has to be there always for your friend, who does stuff for your friend all the time, covers up for her, or you're the one who's the supplier in the relationship, you really want to check that, because that can result in an unhealthy relationship and cause that imbalance. Number 2 habit that ruins your relationship with your friend is selfishness. I have 2 real life scenarios that I want to share with you. I had a friend who at the time had her siblings send her over 300,000 naira. All right. So at the time when that happened, I needed 10,000 naira badly. So I asked, and this is somebody who knows me from way back. Like, we've been friends from way back. And I asked you for 10K because I'm going to give it to you. I'm not taking your money. And if I'm being honest here, at the time, she could comfortably give me 10,000 naira without any problem at all. But she said, it's in my mom's account. I don't want to touch it. My mom will not give it to me. So I'm like, but your mom knows me. So why can't you lend me the money? I was really hurt because this was somebody I called my friend. This was somebody I called my sister. And if I can ask you for 10,000 naira at that moment, if I could ask you for help and you couldn't come through for me, I don't think you see me as your friend. I don't think you see me as a sister the way I see you as a sister. So you want to check in your relationship. Does your friend give or does she withhold? Does your friend help you out in sticky situations? Can you rely on your friend? Truth is, if your friend cannot give up something for you, I don't think that friendship is worth it. Number 3 habit that ruins friendship is not making sacrifices or matching your energy. So I'm going to give this real life scenario again. So I had this friend who one morning called me and said, Sharon, please, I already left my house at that time in the morning. Said, Sharon, please, can you accompany me to the movies? I'm going out with my boyfriend and I don't want anyone to find out. That morning, guys, I was dressed like a slave. I wore a very long green gown that had no fitting whatsoever, and I think I tied my hair that day. So the place I was going to wasn't so far from the place that we would meet. That day it rained, and where I was at, the only way to get to where we were going to meet is by taking Okada. It was raining cats and dogs that day. I borrowed an umbrella from somebody. I stood for minutes before I got Okada. I got on top of the Okada. The wind was fighting with the umbrella. Like the umbrella, you know how the umbrella separates from the iron rod? That was what happened. So I was drenched and soaked on top of the Okada. But I get to where we're supposed to meet, and she's in the car waiting for me. And we get to the movies. Her boyfriend shows up. She's in the movie theater watching the movie with a boyfriend, and I'm outside for more than an hour, because usually all movies last above an hour. There I was outside waiting, drinking swallowing saliva all through. And when they were done, we all went our separate ways. And that is one out of the many times that I have gone out of my way to make sure that she's happy. And in that friendship, I realized that the amount of energy that I put in is not what I put out. I can hype you and say, that's my best friend, but you don't see me as your boyfriend. It's a case of even your boo has a boo. Do you understand? You know when you understand what I mean now? You know when you see somebody as your best friend, but they don't see you as their best friend. If you know what I mean, please comment. And if you've had a similar experience, please feel free to share in the comment section. I'd really like to hear your thoughts, because I know that as young people, we have obviously encountered people, we've had friendships that didn't work out and left us scarred. And maybe that is one of the reasons we made a resolution to not have a best friend, or to not take our chances anymore when it comes to friendship. So I remember another friend of mine who I would always go out of my way to make sure that he was okay. It was crazy, because the measure of energy and love, genuine love that I invested, that I showed, I didn't get that back. I felt so alone in the friendship. I would always brag and say, yes, he's my friend. Friendship was ordained by God, which I felt was the case at the first instance, because how we met was actually divine. Honestly, it was divine. But the friendship turned sour because one person, I was carrying the friendship on my head. You know how they hug gala in traffic? That was how I carried the friendship on my head. But in all of this, I have not given up on friendship. I have amazing friends right now. I have Senzo, I have Valerie, I have Estee. You guys are okay, guys. Another habit that ruins friendship is keeping secrets. In secondary school, I used to have 3 friends that I was really, really close to. We had a nickname. I've carried friendship on my head. If you are feeling me, please comment. Let me know. Do you like my outfit? Do you like my hair? Do you feel what I'm saying? Do you concur? And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and turn on notification. Also share the link to your friends, all right? You can share on WhatsApp, Instagram, wherever. So as I said, keeping secrets. So these friends that I had, I was the mommy Gio in the circle. I still am a mommy Gio anyways, but I was more like the mom in the friendship. So I would always be the last to know about anything. And I mean, something happens today, the rest of them will be aware, obviously. And I'm finding out 2 weeks after. Or, as the case was at the time with one of my friends, I would hear something about you from another person, but you would never tell me. It was almost like I'm not your friend and I'm just an acquaintance, because you did not consider me important enough to let me know. And if you can keep a secret away from me, then you don't consider me your friend, because you surely would not hide something from your friend, would you? So I felt left out in the relationship. It's like I wasn't trusted. And I do not want to be in that kind of friendship where I'm not trusted enough to be told secrets, where you don't trust me enough to be open with me, where you feel like I'm judgmental. Another habit that ruins friendships is not being supportive or not showing enough support. I would always say this: if you don't match my energy, I'm walking away, because I'm not a fool to put in that energy and not receive it back. It's unfair. It's actually unhealthy for your relationship, you know? So imagine me, I will always refer to this friendship again. I have a podcast, I have a YouTube channel. If you are my friend, you should be my biggest supporter. As in, you should be my biggest cheerleader. I have a podcast, you have a business that you run, and obviously everybody needs publicity with their business. But you do not support my business. I have to remind you to post the link. I have to remind you to do this, or help me share this video. Help me share the link to your group chat. See, right now, my friend Joy, she even checks up on me when I don't release a video. That's how it should be with friendships. You water me, I water you. The way I put my all, the way I give my all, in, you know, the way I invest my time, Jesus. If somebody truly is your friend, you will not beg for their support. You would not beg for their support, basically. So if you always find yourself constantly asking for support, constantly asking for help, maybe for that business, maybe for financial support or something, because truth be told, in your friendship, a time will come where you will lend your friend money. A time will come where your friend will need your connection. So if they don't support you enough, you would want to reconsider. And also, if you're watching this video and you're guilty of all these things, you're a bad friend. You're a very bad friend. Like, that's too bad. That's too bad. The other person is suffering. And you really, something, you don't even see that there's something wrong. I'm really pained, because young people like me, when they experience these things, now formulate an opinion that is false. And they carry that opinion, carry that bias and that mindset into work, into raising their family, that is raising children, into their home. And you know, it just messes up the true concept of friendship. And the last habit that ruins friendship is inactivity. We pray make we not see each other finish. You and your friend live in different cities, and you know that you cannot see each other as often as you would want to. Maybe you can do game night online. I think people do iMessage games, yeah? Or see a movie together online. You can do that on Netflix, teleparty and all of that. You know, make time out to video chat, to FaceTime, you know, bond. Because truth is, I used to have this friend The only time I talk to you, the only time we talk is when I call you. It was as if I was the one. You know how, what's wrong with these flies? You know how a car refuses to start and people keep pushing and pushing and pushing the car? That was how it was like in the friendship. It was like I was the one always forcing things, always making things happen. How far now? You don't call me. How's mom? See, please. What's wrong with these flies? Stop it. Inactivity, see finish, can destroy a relationship. No matter how close you guys are, no matter how strong the bond is, do not let that fire in your relationship wax cold simply because nobody's willing to put in the time and put in the work. Trust me, if you are waiting for the other person, you are heaping a lot of responsibility on that person, and that is unfair. Like I said, if you are guilty of all these things, repent. Please change. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment telling me your favorite part of the video and which point stands out to you. Please, I want to encourage you, if you are not enjoying your friendship, please have a heart-to-heart talk with your friend before you call it quits, before you exit. Or if you see that you're trying, you're making efforts, and all of that is not being reciprocated, I advise that you leave the friendship strongly. And if you're guilty of all these things, please stop it. You are putting somebody through emotional stress, and that is really unhealthy. And until my next video, be the light and spread love. Adios.